My name is Cheney McKnight. I'm a living historian, and I live and work in the spaces of Black folks throughout society in order to better understand their lives. From the north to the south, east to west, join us in learning about the day-to-day lives of Black folks throughout North American society. This is Not Your Mama's History presents These Roots. This month, we're at Stratford Plantation, exploring what the day-to-day life was like for enslaved persons who worked in the great houses of plantations in colonial Virginia. Today, I'm joined by my friend Dontavius Williams, who is a historical interpreter, living historian, and founder of Chronicles of Adam. He will be representing the enslaved head cook for Stratford Hall, Caesar. I will be assisting him in the kitchen as an enslaved scullery maid. Today, we're going to center on the time period in which Philip Ludwell Lee was the owner of Stratford Hall Plantation, from 1750 to 1775. He was known to frequently entertain friends, family, politicians, and business associates at Stratford. He updated the buildings and grounds to receive Virginia's gentry in style. The estate year-round boasted parties and dances with the who's who of Virginia society. Food and drink was at the center of entertaining in 18th century Virginia, and a skilled cook was important to any Virginia gentry family hoping to gain and maintain social connections. The first person up in the morning was always the scullery maid, in order to start the fires for the cook. About 30 minutes to an hour after the scullery maid, the head cook awoke. Just like today, colonial kitchens were a dictatorship, not a democracy. An efficient kitchen was led by a cook who ran their kitchens like a conductor leads an orchestra. Even though his title was cook, his job was more equivalent to what we refer to today as a chef. For that reason, we'll be using that title for him today. He had to have a masterful hold on running a kitchen. Also, he had to master French, English, Dutch, German, and West African-inspired dishes, even developing some dishes of his own. A well-known enslaved chef of the day was Hercules, who before he liberated himself from bondage, was enslaved by George Washington. George Washington's step-grandson, George Washington Parke Custis, would later in life speak about how the kitchens were run under Hercules. Under his iron discipline, he said, "Woe to his underlings if speck or spot could be discovered on the tables or dressers, or if utensils did not shine like polished silver." We can assume that Caesar ran his kitchens in a similar fashion. Caesar most likely trained under an indentured cook from London named Richard Minette in the early 1750s. In the 1776 probate inventory, Caesar was valued at 45 pounds sterling, pointing to the fact that even in his 50s, an age when the perceived financial value of other enslaved workers was considered to be in decline, his skills were still highly valued to both his enslavers and a slave society. Even though he was one of the most skilled chefs in the area, with years of experience, the final say on all meals went to the mistress of the plantation, who at age 17 was a little under half Caesar's age. Elizabeth Steptoe Lee did not legally own enslaved persons, but she was given ultimate authority over the enslaved in the domestic sphere at Stratford Hall Plantation. She commanded the household enslaved staff and structure of the household. Though her job was challenging, she rarely, if ever, got her hands physically dirty doing domestic chores. She did, however, meet with the cook every morning to go over the day's bill of fare.
Good morning, Caesar.
Good morning, mistress.
How are our hens faring? They faring just fine. Only thing is, they're not laying so well this month, but Jack assured me that he's changing their feed and they'll be just fine.
Oh, what do we do about eggs today, though?
If you don't mind, may I suggest that we go down to see Benjamin and his wife down in Chantilly. They raise and sell chicken eggs themselves.
Well, that's a fine plan. You may do that. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, the Randolphs are coming to the midday meal. Perhaps we could have one of our eggless friends on the table. And I would also like oysters on the half shell.
Indeed. We even have some beef that was left over that I can make into a fine beef soup. That and some pickled asparagus will go real well with those hens there.
I would like that. Parsnips too. The usual time will do.
Yes, sir. Hey, Cheney.
Yes, sir.
I need you to go to the root cellar and grab some carrots. Make sure you wash them real good. Bring them back and cut them up so we can put them in this beef soup.
Yes, sir. Even though the Lees were a wealthy family and could enjoy luxuries such as fresh meat year-round and a large variety of food, meals would depend on what's in season. During the colder months, Caesar would rely heavily on drawing ingredients from stores in the root cellar. Pickles and vegetables such as carrots, parsnips, potatoes, beets, cabbage, turnips, winter squash, pumpkins, and onions were a regular part of people's diets in the winter. It was important for Caesar to keep a close eye on all the food stores throughout the year. Remember, one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch, and Caesar was constantly checking the stores for that bad apple.
Hey, Cheney, when you finish with that, I need you over here. You remember how I showed you how to pickle those eggs last time?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I need for you to take these and pickle them for next week so we can have them for then, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Food storage before the time of refrigeration was a tricky art form. Each vegetable required specific knowledge on how it was stored. Potatoes needed to be cured in warm temperatures before stored, and both carrots and potatoes could be stored by being covered with moist sand in crates or baskets. Preservation was a year-round affair, and Caesar had to be an expert. In addition to keeping up with the ongoing projects to replenish winter stores, Caesar would have had to make sure meals made it to the table on time and at correct temperatures every day. Caesar knew exactly how much food there was at any moment in the kitchens and cellars. He had authority over how those stores were used. Though there were steep punishments for enslaved persons who stole food from their enslavers, it was not uncommon for enslaved chefs to sell slop or even distribute excess food to children, pregnant women, the sick, and the elderly. Little is known about Caesar's life. We know he had a son named after him. Caesar Jr. worked as a postilion. Both son and father were highly skilled individuals, but would remain enslaved for the entirety of their lives. If you like this video, please consider joining our Patreon to help maintain and improve this production value. Links down below. Dontavius Williams owns the Chronicles of Adam and has developed Adam's Kitchen Pepper, which is a blend of seasonings unique to every cook in the 18th century. Follow the link below to get a bottle of Adam's Kitchen Pepper.